Hello! I'm Amanda, and I'm from Any Girl Fitness, and today is my first video. I'm very excited. I've been looking forward to doing a posting for a while, and I've just been going through and trying to figure out what, I wanted my first video to be about, and I finally figured it out. So, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is not giving up on your dreams or your goals. Now, I know that might seem, a little cheesy or, whatever you think, but it's a serious thing and it's seriously important. I know that personally, I have a self-defeating record that if I allow it, it'll play over and over and over on a loop in my head, telling me that I'm not smart enough or I'm not pretty enough, or, people won't like me if I do it this way or whatever. And that is so silly. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So I think it's important to ask yourself, certain things when you're considering giving up on a goal. And I sat down and I thought about it and I came up with 7 questions to ask yourself before giving up on your dreams. The first one comes with a visual aid. You're welcome. But you can ask yourself, are you creating SMART goals? Now, SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Now, specific means know what your goal looks like so that when you reach it, you know you've achieved it and you can stop. So if that goal is, I want to lose 20 pounds, or, I want to be able to run a mile, you know what that goal is when you can eventually do it. So it's setting the goal in the distance and keeping it in mind. The second one is measurable. You have to be able to make sure that you can mark and track your progress. That is important because you're making progress and it makes you want to continue on your goal. Attainable means that you are having the correct attitude and finding the right information to get your goal that you want. So, if you want to lose 20 pounds, but you keep telling yourself that you're fat and that you're lazy and whatever, then you'll never reach it because you're self-defeating. It's all in the mind. You're your biggest cheerleader. Now, realistic means that you're setting yourself up with a goal that you know that you want to do, and that you're telling yourself that you are required to do the work that's involved. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, that same example, you can't just sit on the couch and watch TV and drink all the pop that you used to before. You have to go to the gym, or you have to do your workout video, or you just have to go out and walk your dog and eat less fast food. You have to figure out what it is and what it is realistically. Now, time-bound. This is very important. It's setting up a time frame that you want to achieve your goal in. Because if you say, I want to lose 20 pounds, but you never set an end date, then you can just say, I'm still working on it. But if you set it for, I want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months, then every day, that time marker is ticking away, tick, 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 tick. And the closer you get to that, 1 month mark or 2 month mark or 3 month mark, you can be measuring and seeing how far your progress is. And I know that I'm a big fire under pressure kind of girl, so that I know if I have to do something in a certain amount of time, I'm more likely to do it. The second one is, what's the worst that could happen if you don't reach your goal? Don't be afraid to fail. I know that you hear that a lot, and it's totally a thing that's easier said than done. But remember, you are a human being. We fail more times than we succeed, but we learn from our goals, or from our failures, excuse me. You can't be afraid of being judged or disappointing people. That's a big thing for me, is I was always worried that, what other people would think. Just like with this video. If I sat back and thought about how people might think I look stupid, or that I kind of ramble, or I get off topic or whatever, then I would never make it. But then I would also never pass information on to other people that might find it useful. Every failure, don't even call it a failure. Call it a learning experience. Everything is a learning experience. Learn from it, grow from it. And if you don't keep going, you'll never know what you could have done or who you could have been. So remember that. Just keep pushing. I have my notes in case you are wondering what I'm shuffling around down here. The third one, and this is definitely one that relates to me, is, are you afraid of succeeding? I know that sounds kind of weird because I just talked about being afraid of failing, but being afraid of succeeding is just as big of a downside for people as failing would be. If you have the fear of succeeding, that might be because you're afraid of taking on a goal and it adds way too much responsibility to your life or commitment that you're afraid you won't be able to keep up with. I can relate to that on so many different levels. Just like with this, Any Girl Fitness, I'm wanting to share information that I have about being healthy and, living a positive lifestyle and loving yourself. But that means the commitment of making these videos and finding relevant information to post and, talking to people and getting involved in their stories and seeing how I can help them. Do I want it to be successful? Heck yes, I do. But then I also thought about, oh man, do I have enough information and do I have enough time to do, all the things that I want to do to make it as successful as I want it to be. And, just like you can't be afraid to fail, you can't be afraid to be a winner. If I always played it safe, I would never achieve anything that I wanted to do, and I would never have the chance to inspire people or help people. And you're the exact same way. You're no different. No different. And it's equally as important as, not wanting to disappoint anybody or anything like that. You have to not be afraid to disappoint yourself or inspire yourself. Like, I might watch this video and be like, you're amazing, you're hilarious. I doubt it. Just kidding. Number 4 is, are you acting out of emotion? A lot of times we let our emotions rule us in a moment of frustration or anger or, sadness. An example I could use is, I've been trying to be super healthy these last couple months, and I've actually had to cut dairy out of my diet because I found that it makes my cystic acne and my eczema considerably worse. So the less dairy I have in my diet, the better my skin is, the better I feel about, myself, and just I don't have to wear a bunch of makeup, which is amazing. But finding food that doesn't have some kind of cheese or milk in it is so hard. And I love pizza. I love ice cream. I mean, I would eat it with every meal if I could. So finding, the motivation to stick to it and keep that stuff out of my diet has been so hard. And there's been multiple times where I've just been like, I don't care. I'm going to eat a whole pizza. And then after I eat it, I'm sitting there hating myself because I know that, 1, my stomach's going to hurt from eating a whole pizza, and 2, that the dairy is going to make my acne flare up, and that I'm going to have an acne breakout, and I'm going to feel ugly, and I'm going to have to put on a bunch of makeup to feel better, and I mean, it's just terrible. So then I'm like, whatever, it's just not worth it. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to eat pizza, and I'm just going to give up. Forget about not eating dairy anymore. But an important thing to do in situations like that is take a minute for yourself. Feel the emotion, because the emotion is relevant. It's coming from somewhere, and that's okay. Feel it. If you're happy about something, feel it. If you're sad about something, feel it. If you're angry, feel it. I have to feel my anger sometimes and figure out where exactly it's coming from. And then I have to evaluate it. Is it rational? Yeah, it's hard not eating cheese, but is it better for me? Yes. And then you have to make the decision. I know it's better for me. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to look better. So that's why I continue to stick with it. And having a setback like that isn't worth, throwing in all of the cards and saying, I give up. You're human, just like I said before. Allow yourself those failures and then get back on the bandwagon and don't stop. Number 5, and this is a really good one. I like this one. Would you feel comfortable giving a loved one an honest explanation as to why you gave up? Now, when I say honest, I mean honest. So an example I thought up was, would you tell your daughter, sorry, honey, I know I wanted to be healthy and I said I would, but it's just a lot easier for me to eat junk food and eat out all the time and not go to the gym than stick to my workout plan because it's just easier and I don't feel like it. So sorry. I'm just going to be sad for the rest of my life and not like my body. Or 2, I couldn't stop smoking because the thought of having withdrawals for 2 weeks just sounds so terrible, and I don't want to deal with that in comparison to living a longer life and spending more time with you. I mean, putting it that way sounds really harsh, but it's the truth. We can tell ourselves anything we want and make excuses, but if we lay it out completely honest like that, it makes it a lot easier to not give up on our goals and what we want. Nothing in life is easy. If you think about the little bit of pain it's going to take to reach your goals, but how huge of an outcome and positive thing sticking with it can be, then there's no way that you'll have that self-defeating record playing in your head. So lay it out like that, and then I guarantee you'll see your excuses in a different light. Now, the last one is, what would you tell someone who was in your shoes? Now, say your best friend is having a really hard time with trying to eat healthy and live a healthier lifestyle. Would you say, yeah, you can't do it, just give up? No. Nobody's like that. Nobody wants to be negative to another person, so why do you allow yourself to be negative to yourself? Doesn't make any sense. So you would be your friend's biggest cheerleader and say, no, you can do it. You would think up your best motivational speech to, get her back on track, or, make her feel better, make her feel beautiful and that she can do it and that she was smart and had all the knowledge to do it. Because guess what? You do. You have all those things. And it sounds cheesy, but you really have to be your own best friend. You have to be your own cheerleader, and you have to be your own motivation. Because at the end of the day, you only have yourself to answer to, and it's a lot easier to get up and, make those choices that make you feel happy and better about yourself than to get up and look in the mirror every day and not like what you see. I know that from personal experience. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, ask yourself these questions, get centered, and get back on track, whatever your goal is. I know I've used a lot of health-related goals in this posting, but it doesn't matter. These apply to anything in life, going back to school, getting a new job, whatever. And think about it, like if something's not working, take a different approach. Enlist new help. Scale back on your commitments that you have so that you can focus on the ones that are really important to you. There's no reason you have to be doing 20 different things and having 20 different events going on in your life when you know you don't have time or the energy to do certain things. Scale back. Pick 5. I know it sounds hard because we're living in a crazy life where everybody wants to do everything and be friends with everybody on Facebook and be involved, but that's not what's important. Focus on yourself. But whatever you do not give up on yourself. Do not allow yourself to one day say, I wish I would have, because you only have one life to live. No matter how cheesy you think that sounds, you only have one life, and I want to live mine and experience everything that I want to do, and I want to feel good and healthy and be positive and just love everything about it, and that's what I want for you guys too. So I hope that this video was helpful and informational and entertaining, maybe. So have a great night, and I'll post again soon. Good night.